Okay, everyone, here we go. Today's notes are called proportions. So make sure that you have paper and pencil out ready to take notes. And we're ready to go. So, like I said, the notes today are called proportions, right? So there's two things that we need to know about proportions. So the first thing is, the first word here we're going to put here are fraction. So a fraction equals to a fraction, right? And fraction equals a fraction. So you have to remember that. A fraction equals a fraction, okay? So that was point number one. Point number two is we remember to cross multiply, right? Cross multiply and solve. Cross multiply and solve. So we remember that fraction equals a fraction, and we're going to cross multiply and solve, right? All right. So let's take a look at this first example here. So automatically, I already have the first rule here. A fraction equals a fraction. Perfect. A fraction equals a fraction. Now what I'm going to do here is I like to call a butterfly multiplication. So what I do is this. I do one wing there, and I do another wing there, right? I kind of make a butterfly, right? So 5 times 5 goes down here. 15 times n goes down there, right? So let's try it out. Right? So let me make this a little thinner here. So I say 5 times 5 is equal to 25. I bring down my equal. 15 times n is 15n. Look at that. 15n is equal to 25. 15n means 15 times n, right? So I draw my line of separation. The opposite of multiplying is dividing by 15. So I cross out 15. I divide by 15. And I get n is equal to, wait a minute, can 25 go into 15? It can't. So we have to divide using our calculator, right? So we say 25 divided by 15 is equal to 1.66. And we are going to round to the nearest tenth. So since this 6 is bigger than 5, it's going to tell this 7 to go up. So this is going to be n is equal to 1.7. And that is our solution right there. N is equal to 1.7. We have solved the proportion, just like that. Right? Simple, simple, simple. Right? Okay. Our next example looks a little more complicated, but still simple, right? So in this case, you see I have two terms here, a plus 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a parentheses around this right here, because that's going to work together. That's like a family. A plus 2 is a family. So they multiply together. So again, I'm going to do the wings. A plus 2 times 13. Well, what I'm going to do is simply this. 13 times a plus 2. Look at that. Parentheses means multiply, right? So I'm multiplying. Equals. And now 8 times 7 goes down here. And 8 times 7 is just two regular numbers, so I could just multiply and give me 56. Just like this. And now here, excuse me, I remember that 13 outside the parentheses means to distribute. 13 times A and 13 times 2. 13 times A is 13A. 13 times A is 13A. 13 times 2 is a positive 26. And I bring down my equal, and I bring down my 56. Now, I want to solve for A here. So I draw my line of separation, and I got to move 26 over first, right? And I say minus 26. So I have 56 minus 26 is 30. And I still have my 13A here. 13A means 13 times A. So the opposite of multiplying is dividing on this side. So if I cross out my 13 here, I'm going to divide by 13, just like this. And I bring down my equal sign, right? Equal sign, and I bring down my A. 30 divided by 13, I'm going to use my calculator because it doesn't divide evenly, right? So I'm going to say 30 divided by 13 is equal to 2.30, and that's okay. This is my answer, 2.30. All right, so I found my proportion. So proportion means that they're equal, right? So when, on this one here, if 5 goes with 15, then what number goes with 5? And we found out what it was. It's 1.7, okay? 1.7. So if 5 goes with 15, then 1.7 goes with 5. And then this one the same, right? If 13 goes with 8, then 7 goes with what number here? Well, A is 2.3. So if 2.3 plus 2 is 4.330. So 7 goes with 4.30. Goes here. And that's what we found. What? We found A. Just the A part. Right? And there you go. Right? Short, simple lesson today, right? These are proportions. So remember, fraction equals fraction, and we cross multiply. So make sure you took all the notes. Make sure you write every single one of these steps when you're doing your work, and you will receive full credit for your assignment. Thank you.